We are going to go back in our time capsule now to the colonial era, the founding of this country, and talk about one of the rarest forms on the table, which is the colonial currency issues. Again, stuff prior to the United States, stuff prior to the continental currencies that were used to pay our troops. These are the notes issued by the states. And tonight we're going to talk about not all 13, the primary, which is Pennsylvania, the seat of government at that time, as we were melding ourselves together. Now, it's called Pennsylvania colonial currency because these were issued by the state of Pennsylvania to help finance just the growth of their own state, I guess, for the lack of phraseology at this time in history. All the notes that we have date from 1773 to 1777. They are all certified by PCGS, and they're all going to be very fine 20, which is premium grade stuff for this far back. They will be various denominations. As you can see here, this is 6 pence, right? And then there'll be some that are going to be shillings, others that are going to be other denominations, like in this case, this is 6 shillings. But they're all vintage authentic. And again, with these old paper money, 2 things. And again, I've been doing this a long time, and I've seen a lot of notes. And if you know your stuff, it can be a lot of fun. But when you see a note, I can't tell you how many reproductions I've seen over the years. So whenever we work with the colonial notes, or even notes into the early 1800s, I always recommend, whether it's PMG with NGC or PCGS with PCGS, have them independently certified. So you know, 1, it's authentic, and 2, what's the quality. Because those 2 add up to be a ton. A ton. So these are the notes that were issued during our uprising, our battle for independence. And they also made a second currency at this time, which is a national currency, continental currency. Those were the monies used to pay the troops. These were the monies used by the states to pay for its efforts. Much rarer, much older. Gorgeous part of history. Gorgeous parts of history. I mean, when's the last time you've seen a note from the 1850s? One of the broken banknotes before the government took over paper money. Because there were so many fictitious, and again, you can remember that in the middle of the 1800s, there were no fax machines, right? There wasn't looking up on the internet. You just looked at it and it said this was from the first, second, or third bank of New York or Pennsylvania or Philadelphia. And you say, okay, must be real. Yet it was somebody that made them and then just pushed them out there. So that existed. A lot of them were called broken banks because they were just non-existent, but they were very, very popular collectible items issued at that era in history. This is not that. These are actual notes struck by the colony of Pennsylvania right before it became part of the United States. They were all struck from 1773 through 1777. They're called state currency or state colonial currency. The competition, the same note you're looking at, a 6 shilling in VF20 PCGS certified. That note is identical. They're at $400. We are $150 less. As I referenced, we just have a small grouping available here tonight. A number of different denominations, all of them from Pennsylvania, all of them certified a minimum grade of VF20, which means you're getting a phenomenal piece of history. Very visible. The dates on both of these notes happen to be 1877, the last year Pennsylvania struck a note. What a great bookend to history. What a rarity. So a Morgan dollar. How about this? A colonial American coin. One of the flowing hair dollars from the 1790s. 20 years after this piece of paper was issued are worth thousands. And the coins are out there. A few here, a few there, which is why they're worth thousands. Finding actual pieces of history like this one, just special. Outright special. Good question. Most of the notes are unicolor, which means most of them are black. Every few notes you'll see some red or alternative ink on them as well. You see right there the signatures in red on this one, where the other one is all black. They're all dated on the notes themselves. But again, across the top, they tell you exactly what this is. This is note 218 from Pennsylvania, issued April 10th, 1977. And the key here is the quality overall. Guys, a 1 minute clock up, please. Just love them. But think about it. When's the last time you've seen a nice looking silver certificate from the 1950s? How about a large size note from the early 1900s? How about the Black Eagle, the Lincoln Grant note, the educational series? How about the gold certificates of 1928, the end of the era for gold certificates? Or 150 years before that, our colonial era. And you have a rarity like this one. Special stuff. You could hunt all year, and you might find 5 or 6 sixpence notes that are this nice. From 1777. Again, my competition on that note right there, the 6 shilling was 400 or $249.95 while they last. Almost sold out. Lots of activity on the phones. It's in your shopping cart. Type fast. Don't want you to lose out. Thanks for listening.